So everybody, name is Flashstep from Blight Gaming. I'm here with a Cobble talk for default works. Someone recently asked me to go over the default work on Cobble, so I'm making this video, kind of like a mentality of how you should do it, and like maybe a couple extra things you can throw in there. So, as everybody knows, default works are kind of like where you feel comfortable and like working for a pick, getting into a 4v5 situation, right? But how do you do that on Cobble? So, there's a couple ways to do it. Let's do but they're all the same type of concept. You can just it just depends if you want to put 2 towards A, 1 towards A, 1 towards drop, 3 towards long B, right? So I'll talk about two kind of setups that can be run. One is the 2A, 2-3. I mean, it's like a 2-3, 2 towards A, 3 towards B, right? So the two players initially want to wait for picks. Ideally, your opera's kind of like watching long if you have one. If you want to run the opera towards A, make sure that he doesn't get peeked on here, and eventually can like make his movement over towards middle. The other player here is watching middle to make sure they're not aggressed. Most of the time, this smoke goes up to like put pressure here / stall you. So you kind of wait it out, make sure they can't get aggressive. If it's an even more aggressive smoke than that, sometimes people like to play this corner, so spam it. If you want to play towards like dragon side or anywhere on the stairs, like that's perfectly okay. So you wait out these smokes, right? This is like 30 seconds after the round starts, the smoke starts to fade. So what do? So most of the time, what people will do is they want to get towards like danger control, right? Not exactly all the way up until long A, but they want to get danger. So you're going to toss this smoke. You just walk through onto that wall, smoke out middle. We don't really toss a molly that much. If they're not peeking danger in the beginning of the round, they're unlikely you're going to be peeking it later into the round. So like just coming up close and like putting a flashbang here is fine to make sure nothing's close and it's clear. You can have both your opper or 2 rifles come here and clear that danger. Maybe if you really want to take it a little bit slower because you think he's in the corner here, or someone's going to be right there holding with some type of gun, you can right click here as well, wait for the flash, then peek it, and just come in here quick to be able to control it. At this point you can do one of two things, like try to molly them off and push them back. Most of the time they'll smoke it out for you. So once you've established they've fallen back into the A site, this smoke will go up a lot, or it'll be this smoke, and you push them off. Once you push them off, you can do one of two things, like you set up for your A execute or like your A pinch, or you can walk back to B. So that's kind of like what the A guys do. But you want to be looking for that pick sometimes too. So other like scenarios of what you can do is you can quick smoke towards danger here. Other player like flashes here quickly, and they can kind of look for this pick right here if they're kind of playing aggressive and try to trade it. If no one's here and they're kind of giving you a free spot, make sure you molly this occasionally if it doesn't play that corner. You can have your opera kind of like walk up towards long, and you can have the guy danger kind of like pinch him if he's there. So it's really all about getting control of this A with getting a trade on it. That's what the A players do. On the B side, usually you want 1 towards drop, waiting out the utility. I really like to use this flash to bait it out, because if you pop flash it, they'll probably do a smoke or a molly behind it. Wait for your HE, wait for them to smoke, and eventually you can make your way to drops. Just kind of like make sure that we have someone there with some pressure. Maybe every once in a while on your other flash, like do this flash here, or like come over here and like molly towards it or something. They should be using their utility to bait out their utility. And sometimes you don't even have to do that. Sometimes you can just wait this push, wait for the utility to make sure nothing's coming through drop, do your flash, and just come to the B guys. And a lot of the time the B guys are just like holding, and they really want to just go for a pick. Some people like to boost here. Like if this smoke goes up, going there for a boost is not a bad idea a lot of the time, because you have positioning to get wherever you want. Sometimes, like I've seen also some of the strats are just like, spot towards long as if they're on plat control. Some people jump spot this a lot of the time to make sure that no one's controlling like towards the left hand side or peeking towards box. Like looking for a pick here, but not too aggressively, because you don't want to get caught in mollies or a pop flash for them to peek stairs and whatnot. So it's kind of like your opera holding here, rifle kind of like towards here. If they smoke it out, sometimes you can go towards like right here, just listening for information. But they're also kind of looking for a pick if they're giving it to them. Now the difference between like A and B on the default work is A, you're actively trying to look for the pick, where B is kind of like if they give it to you and they try to pop flash and they miss their pop flash, or they don't smoke, they don't rotate their smokes properly, you can find a pick and you go into a 4v5, right? And eventually you can slow it down 4v5 work. So this is like in the 2-3 type of split scenario. You have 2 towards A, 3 towards B. Another type of default scenario is like you don't want to work towards A, because let's say they're winning the fight towards A, even if you're pushing them off, but you still want to make sure you have some type of pressure there so they can't 4-1 towards B. What you can do is just have the opper or the other rifle that's watching towards long. Don't do it anymore. Just have the guy come here and just like watch middle, hold for long. Like he can do both at the same time. Because if you've already pushed them off multiple times without them aggressing, you don't need to be too scared of them pushing up. And if they do, usually you're ready. And if they catch the guy here, it's like not the end of the world. It's going to happen every once in a while because you'll have more firepower towards B. So later into the round, though, you really want to still make sure to do this like smoke here. And then he can just like, you know, fake the aggression, right? Maybe flash towards danger. If he's comfortable and he knows that they're not really peeking danger that often, they're playing more towards like long or towards the left side of long, he can toss this molly, and then he can start backing up slowly. Just to like put that pressure on there, right? Because making sure that they think you're A is really important. And this way you can have all 4 towards B, and usually when you have like 4 towards B, you can have like 2 kind of like aggressively pick towards B with 2 more towards drop, with one person using their set, and then the second person using their set as well, to kind of like bait stuff out. That's another way that you can do like a default work. But I would say like the main goal of your default, and any default on any map, is to kind of like passively look for mistakes that are done by the other team, and then capitalize on them. Like you have like a set route, you know that you're not going to be taking that much like too many fights by yourself, but if they were to mess up and be in an out of place position, that you'd win that fight. I think that's the whole point of a default a lot of the time, and then you can start like, you know, making hard reads as an in-game leader or as a team about what they do, because you have the most information when you do a default. Like if you're executing towards B, you're not going to have the information what A does. So for all you know, like their default CT could be that the guy peeks danger every single round, clears this, starts wide peeking out with an op or a rifle, and like then therefore they have all the information, you have none. So like that's why people run default in the first round, right? It's to delay information from your opponent and then receive as much information as you can, even if you lose the round. Because if you might lose the round, at least you have an idea of what they do for the default. You beat them on their default, they adjust, and you adjust faster, hopefully. So that's usually what you should be doing on default Cobble. There's also multiple ways to do it. There's no really like one way it should be done. It's kind of, you want to use your strengths and weaknesses as a team. So I kind of hope that mentality helps somebody. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't. I would love you for it. Thanks for watching.